All right, so hello everyone. My name's Clarke Towson. I'm the CEO of INTJ Billing. Find ourselves in some interesting times in the crypto market at the at the moment. Price of Bitcoin is very low. If we have a look at the Mayer multiple, we're looking at a Mayer multiple of 0.63. Bitcoin has been higher than today's Mayer multiple 95% of the time. In other words, only 5% of the time has Bitcoin been this low based on this Mayer multiple. So historically, these have been good times to get in and buy. It's not a recommendation for me to people to go in and buy, so I don't give financial advice. From the very beginning, I've recommended to people based on technology advice, Bitcoin block reward halving cycle every 4 years, uh, growth in Bitcoin, etc., etc. Recommended a dollar cost averaging strategy into Bitcoin over long periods of time and a dollar cost averaging strategy out of Bitcoin if and only if one needs to sell over a long period of time. I'm very cautious in recommending to people buying a lot of Bitcoin at any one time or selling a lot of Bitcoin at any one time, right? People, however, generally don't listen to what I have to say, which is really annoying because, I run a consultancy business, INTJ Billing. I consult with the general public, and so many of my clients, I tell them one thing, they do another. It's just, I had a meeting with a lawyer in Bangkok earlier this week, and he gave me a whole lot of recommendations. I'm moving to Thailand, and there's a lot of stuff that I need legal advice on over there. All the recommendations he gave me, I very carefully wrote them down. Okay. And I'm not going to go against the recommendations that he gave me because it was legal advice that he gave me. That's why I consulted with a qualified lawyer, right? Right? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. I give technology advice. Now, what do I see going on in the markets at the moment? Celsius. There were warnings about Celsius. Okay. Trader University, look them up. Matthew Crowder is the name of the person. Go through all of Matthew's videos. In particular, this one, is Celsius about to implode? He gave the warning over a month ago. There were other people out there warning about Celsius as well, right? Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. I got into the crypto industry. I got into Bitcoin, okay, in early 2017. And I studied as much as I could about Bitcoin and the industry and what it looked like at that time. Okay, I came across luminaries in the space uh, um, like Antonopoulos, for instance, and various other people in the space who were big at that time, who are still big now. Right, Andreas Antonopoulos, in particular, he's one of the good guys out there. Okay, who was teaching about Bitcoin. A lot of my original education came from him and his teachings. Right. The saying, not your keys, not your coins, is really, really important. I'm going to repeat that. Not your keys, not your coins is really, really important. Okay. Celsius is a middleman provider. Okay. When you deposit Bitcoin or Ethereum or altcoins with Celsius, okay, and earn a yield, my question is, what are they doing with those coins? They're not just sitting on them. No, they are loaning them out to people in the space and companies in the space who are using them for speculative purposes to make more money, right? So it's a high risk strategy. Why would you risk your valuable Bitcoin on a third party provider like that to earn a yield? I just don't get it. I don't get it, okay? Right? I don't like what I see going on in the crypto industry. I don't like it at all. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people doing shifty things. There's a lot of rug pulls. There's a lot of dishonest people. A lot of the shenanigans that are going on. Expect regulation, okay? Regulation's coming. This is not going to be allowed to go on. Okay, people like Do Kwon, for instance, who was apparently cashing out $80 million worth of Luna at a time each month, right? Each month, and he raised over $1 billion for his personal account. There were rumors like that going around. Whilst he was encouraging everyone else to buy, he was selling. All this sort of stuff, expect regulation because it's unacceptable what's going on. All the big hedge funds and venture capitalists, and let's name some: Pantera Capital, Galaxy Digital. There are others out there as well. And Andreessen Horowitz. I could go on and on. The big names in the industry. This bear market has really brought home what these fuckers are up to. Okay, they don't give two shits about the retail investor. Here I am. Okay, what did I do when I got into cryptocurrency? Okay, I decided whilst working a full-time job that I was going to come out and help the general public. What did I do? I put up a website. I put up a Bitcoin consulting page. Okay. I started advising the general public on how to go about buying Bitcoin and owning Bitcoin and taking control of your keys and doing it in a secure way. Okay. That's what I did. That's what I did. Did I create a middleman service where, like Celsius or all the rest of these large crypto companies? No, I didn't. I concentrated on helping people and educating people. Despite that, many of my clients have been people who have been looking to get rich quick. I had a number of clients who were interested in altcoins, and I was so um, frightened by what they had to say, and so scared for them and what was going to happen to them, i.e., losing all their money, that I actually added sections to my website, right? In particular, this graph. Okay, this is the price of Bitcoin, yeah, and this is the price of all the altcoins. And you can see they all tend to zero as Bitcoin increases steadily over time, right? Right. My crypto or my Bitcoin consulting business, okay, I've been thinking of shutting it down because the majority of the people I get are just looking at getting rich quick. These, this is the majority of the general public who don't give a shit about Bitcoin. They just want to make money. Well, I'm sorry. If people come to me and they want to get rich quick, I'm not the person to advise, right? I give technology advice on where Bitcoin is going, growth of the network, how to invest in Bitcoin, yes, the best way to invest in it based on a technology perspective, right? Not on a speculator's perspective. That's the sort of advice that I give. And Celsius, would I have recommended Celsius? No. I don't recommend Celsius. I don't recommend altcoins. I don't recommend all the garbage that's going on in this space. And you know what? Let me tell you what I do recommend. I recommend if you're watching this video and you're thinking of investing in Bitcoin or in altcoins or in any of the market, I recommend that you go to trader universities. Now, I've got no association with Trader University, none whatsoever. Let me tell you how I came across these people, or Matthew Crowder, though. What I did on my homepage, I put up a spreadsheet. And in this spreadsheet is a list of all the people in the Bitcoin space who I think are trustworthy, right? Who I think are trustworthy. So here's our spreadsheet, right? Some companies and some individuals and list, links to their websites and links to their YouTube channels and some comments of mine. Okay. And after going through all these people in the space and coming across people who are trustworthy and untrustworthy, I've given people recommendations. Do I recommend them? Yes, very high. Some medium, some no. I don't recommend them. Right? Right? I put low, untrustworthy against a number of these names. just happens that Matthew Crowder is one of the best out there. Same with Andreas Antonopoulos. Okay, these are the types of people that I recommend, so that when you get into Bitcoin, you don't lose your money. You don't gamble on altcoins. You don't do anything stupid. Okay. All right. So what we're seeing going on in the crypto market at the moment, let's have a look at the Mayer multiple. At a price of $25,735 per Bitcoin, we're at 0.63. Mayer multiple is, it's higher than today's value 95% of the time. Just 5% of the time has been this low. With all the shenanigans that are going on, Celsius, right? Look at this. Look at this, Celsius. Celsius is part of the reason why the crypto market has crashed, right? So what have they done? They've halted withdrawals from their platform due to market conditions. So there's a bank run that's currently going on, and the bank has said, sorry, we're not going to allow you to take out your funds. Now, let's look up, what does a bank run look like, right? If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it, by the way. Here's a bank run.
Don't look now, but there's something funny going on over there at the bank, George. I've never really seen one, but that's got all the earmarks of being a run.
Now, just remember that this thing isn't as black as it appeared. I have some news for you, folks. I was just talking to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments to the bank. The bank's going to reopen next week.
But, George, I got my money here. Did he guarantee this place?
Well, no.
Video up. I highly recommend that you watch this scene in its entirety, right? This is what happens when there is a bank run, okay? Now, what we're witnessing at the moment is a modern day bank run in crypto. Remember, the whole crypto space isn't yet regulated in the way that it's going to be in the future. And it's very early days. I've been telling people for years now that it's too early to be lending your coins out on platforms like Celsius and the other platforms out there, and because it's just too early, okay? And that's my perspective as a computer scientist. That's my professional opinion as a computer scientist, okay? It is too early to be playing these games in this space, in this unregulated space the way that it is, okay? There's too many sharks out there. There's too many ways for you to lose your Bitcoin, okay? So, what do I recommend? At this time, stay calm, don't panic, don't do anything stupid, okay? And just watch what's going on. And if you've got a dollar cost averaging strategy and you're looking at Bitcoin for the long term, all right, I would be seriously buying at the moment, dollar cost averaging over a long period of time, not in large figures, right? Because I never recommend doing that. But that's what I would be doing. I'm currently not doing that, okay? Because I've retired now. I don't work a full-time job now. I accumulated all my Bitcoins in early 2017 and from 2017 to this day. And I've only just been selling small amounts over time to add to my pension, okay? So I'm currently not buying. But if I had a full-time job, I would be out there buying at the moment and dollar cost averaging for the long term, okay? And again, that's not financial advice. Please don't contact me and say, I watched your video and I bought or I sold, and because of you, I'm down or up, okay? Because remember, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a technology advisor, and I'm just commenting on the market and how I see things, okay? So there's a panic on at the moment. There's a bank run on at the moment. Prices are low. This price is around the price of the 2017 Bitcoin bull market high, right? Most people, the best and brightest in the space, didn't think we would get this low. It doesn't mean that we won't go lower. We could go lower. In my mind, however, with all the inflation out there, with all the money printing out there, people are going to be looking for where to store their value. Okay, and all roads lead to Bitcoin. So they're just my comments on the market at the moment. Check out Bitcoin Twitter. You can see there's various other indicators as well. If I type in crypto fear and greed index, we can look at the index. Where are we at the moment? Extreme fear. Look at that figure, 11, way down. Let's have a look at the fear and greed index over time. You can see where we currently are down here, right? Very, very rare situation that we get this low. Very rare situation. We haven't been this low in many, many years. There we are. Not since the March 23rd crash of 2020. And I remember that day very, very well, right? I think it was the 13th of March when it crashed down to the lowest figure. I was buying heavily. And I couldn't believe all my colleagues at work weren't watching the market and didn't take advantage of the opportunity. I picked up half a Bitcoin in a day. It was a great day. So, yeah, in times of extreme fear, these are the times to be buying. The times to be selling are when we're up at extreme greed. And again, not all at once, not the entire Bitcoin stash, right, that you own. You're looking at dollar cost averaging in and out. That's the way that I do it. That's the way that I think is the best way to do it. And to avoid everything else out there, right? Avoid altcoins. Avoid all the gambling that's going on. Avoid these third-party custody solutions. Take ownership of your Bitcoin. Take it off of exchanges. Don't lend it out to companies like Celsius and all the rest of the companies in the space who are providing yield. Because you've got to ask yourself the question: when you loan out your coins to a third-party provider, what are they doing with those coins? Who are they lending them to? What are those people doing with those coins in order to make money, right? And they're not transparent about this, okay? For instance, Celsius. Provide me with a list, please, Celsius, of all the companies and individuals that you've taken coins or where users have deposited coins to your service, and then you've then loaned them out to these companies and other individuals who are using them for who knows what purpose. I want to know the names of those companies. I want to know what those companies and people are doing with those coins in order for you to generate the yields that you're generating. Right? I want to see all this. I don't see all this. It's not easy to find this information. Why? Because they don't want to provide it, because they don't want to be this transparent. All these middlemen companies, okay, they're all the same when it comes to this. Now, when I started INTJ billing, let me tell you the advice that I got from an investment manager, investment professional. He said, look, Clarke, you know better than to deal with the general public. His whole business model is to clip the ticket, to take a percentage of transactions at scale. What I'm doing doesn't scale. Helping people one-on-one doesn't scale. Sure, making some videos, there's some scale to that. But ultimately, my business can't grow by leaps and bounds in the way that a company like Celsius can. Certainly not, right? Certainly not. And even if I have tried to register as a official exchange and remittance provider here in Australia, the Australian AUSTRAC, the Australian government's financial regulator, won't admit me. Right? And I've really tried hard to meet all their requirements, and we don't even have all the regulation around crypto, which we will have later this year and into next year and beyond. Right? So, basically, I found what they wanted me to do, I found unethical. They wanted me to provide all my customers' personal data to them on a regular basis. So every transaction that all my clients are entering into. Right? I think it's a privacy breach. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. That's why I'm not starting a service like Celsius or CoinSpot or any of these third-party middlemen solutions. Okay? My business is advising the general public on Bitcoin, not altcoins, not any of this other crap that's out there. Okay? And I also advise on the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Okay? And I offer Bitcoin Lightning Network consulting services as well to companies. And this is just way out there here in Australia. There's very few people offering this as a service to businesses and companies here in Australia. My work with Pride Bar was leading edge. You know, nobody else is even doing this stuff here in Australia. Right? So you got to look at people's actions. What do my actions indicate? Do I care about the end user? Well, let's say I spent a whole lot of time and effort putting up a website, consulting with people one-on-one, helping them, spending hours with people, right? Going into Bitcoin Lightning Network consulting, creating a service around that. I'm about helping Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Lightning Network grow and prosper and succeed. I'm not out there creating middlemen services like Celsius, right? Like any of these exchanges who are clipping the ticket and making money off people in that manner. No, I'm not doing any of that. And neither are people like Matthew Cratter from Trader University. All right, that's it. I'm done.